Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about on whose shoulders is the weight of the world. Now, this is an obvious talk segment. This is something that is very popular. This is something that is even going to come to mind. When you hear the leaders of tomorrow, what comes to your mind? Children, exactly. Children comes to your mind. So on whose shoulders is the weight of the world? It's children. Children are like the average consumers, and they are the ones that are going to be holding the future of this our world in their hands. So how we raise them is very important. We should not neglect our children. Our children are the ones that are going to take this world to the next level. Whatever we teach them today is what they're going to do tomorrow. Don't forget, it says in the Bible, train up the child in the way he should go, and when he grows, he shall not depart from it. If we do not train them in the way that they're supposed to go, then they're going to depart from the way. They're departing from all the positive ways to grow up, and they're going to be learning bad characters and initiating in negative lifestyles. Making them not choose negative lifestyle choices is our number one goal, and we should make sure that our children are not in the dark. They should be educated on things that pertain to this world, even something as small as taxes. And to say taxes is small is to know that there are bigger problems in the future. Children are the ones that are going to be here in the next 10 years. Prove me wrong. Children are going to be the ones that are going to be ruling this world in the next 20 years. And that's just pure facts. That's the truth. Your child right now that you just born is going to be 20 years old in the next 20 years. And they're the ones that are going to be putting on content online. They're the ones that are going to be cooking. They're the ones that are going to be cleaning. They're the ones that are going to be doing all the basic activities that you are doing now. They're going to be the ones driving themselves to work. They're going to be the ones paying taxes. They're the ones that are going to be voting for president. So on whose weight is the weight of the world? Children. Because they are coming up after us, we have to leave the world clean for them. We cannot leave the world dirty. We cannot leave the world unkept. We cannot leave the world tattered, because the children are coming after us and they are coming to rule the world. So give space for your children and do not mock them. Do not be brutal to them, because you don't know what that can influence in the nearest future. Children are the wide scope. Children are the ones that are going through this world after us. Anybody born right now is going to be ruling the world in the next 10 to 20 years. And we have to make sure that everything that we're doing right now is thinking about the future. We should be thinking about the future right now. The second person on my list to rule the world is the average consumer. The more things you consume, the more things will be recommended to you. The more things you consume, the more things will be recommended to you. The more things you consume, the more things will be recommended to you. How many times did I say it? I said it 3 times. That is to notify you. That is to place emphasis on this. Because the more things you watch, that is more things that will be consumed. The more thing you consume, that's the more thing that will be recommended to you. And that's what is going to be recommended to even somebody close to you, because they think that you people like the same things, so they're going to likely recommend you. If a whole family, they could recommend the whole family the same thing. And if you're recommending a whole family the same thing and the thing is not positive, then we've just had a family that is going to be ruin the ecosystem, that's going to be ruin demographics, that's going to ruin policies, that's going to always misbehave, that's always going to be counterproductive. So watch what you watch, listen to what you listen. Do not fall into the temptation of the media. The media always throws things at us to watch, and we have the choice to select the things that are good for us and the things that are bad for us. We are responsible enough, and this is going to help the children also. Bringing my point back from earlier, this is going to help the children. It's going to help the children because now they have somebody to look up to. They know who is watching what they are watching, and they know who to fall back on if they find anything on the internet that interests them. If your child is finding brutality and violence on the internet, that might be because you are watching violent videos. So please reduce the amount of personal self videos that you're watching, because you might say this is what I like, this is what I like to watch, but you're forgetting that somebody else after you might likely watch those videos, and they might even come across those videos and watch it as well. And this could lead to things like school shootings, murders, rapes, grapes, and things that are terrible that are happening in this life, abductions. You see teens that are not up to 16 years old that are committing abductions, and I'm just wondering, how is that even possible? How is that possible that they are committing abductions at such a young age? They are kidnapping people at such a young age. That is just unheard of, and that is because they have been groomed from their childhood, and they are now ruining the ecosystem because they were groomed poorly. So you, the average consumer, is responsible for this world, and that is also where the weight of the world lies. It lies on your shoulder as an average consumer, and you shouldn't take this for granted, because the world is depending on you. The world is depending on you for all these things. You're the one that is going to lead this world to success, and in the next 20 years you're going to be maybe 40, and then your child is going to be maybe 20. And just assuming that you're 20 years old and you had a child at 20, all right? So your child is 20 and you're 40, and you're still ruling the world, and your child is ruling the world in your stead from your youth. From your youth, yeah. So let us mind what we do. So the third people that the weight of the world is on their shoulders is working class people. I understand that working class people are people that are tired all the time, but they are so much important to this world. They have so much importance that I cannot even say. So working class people are contributing because they are telling the truth. They're telling the truth about how the working system is. They're telling the truth about how life is by working a 9 to 5 job. They're telling the truth about how voting systems work. They're telling the truth about taxes. They're telling the truth about several things. So, working class people, the weight of the world is on your shoulders. We are rooting for you, because even though through your stress, you still come out to tell the truth. So, yeah, working class people, because they are the ones that are engaging in everyday communications with people on higher plane, higher business model. Working class people get to see entrepreneurs every single day. Working class people get to see their bosses every single day. CEOs, managers, they get to see all these people. And managers are still part of working class people, but they're just a little higher up there. And you could be a manager of a supermarket, so I wouldn't even say that they are higher up there, because you can be a manager of practically anything. So let's just say the CEOs most likely are the ones that you get in contact with as a working class person. Then you can see the insight of how their lives are, and how the livelihood of those that are in power and rich are, and you can get an idea that we need you and you can get an idea that we need you, working class person. We need you for our votes, we need you for our jobs, we need you, and we do not need any robots, we do not need any AI, we do not need anybody to replace you. You are the one that are needed, you are wanted, and the weight of the world is on your shoulders. You need to carry on to the next decade, working and working and working and keeping the system alive, and keeping our ecosystem breathing. So that is what I have to say on this video. I have nothing much else to say after this. I just hope that you understand that you cannot take things for granted, because not only are the children the leaders of tomorrow, we also have those that are in power, that are working right now, and they might also have children, and whatever they are doing right now, they are going to influence their children. And if they are a bad corrupt leader, then their children are going to learn from this, and then we are in trouble, we're in deep trouble if the children learn from this. So let's try our best to raise our children right, and let's not forget that what they learn in schools also really matter. What they learn in schools should also influence our daily life, and should make a positive impact. That's just to bring the point from earlier today, to emphasize on the children, because that's who actually matters. And yes, the working class matter, and also the average consumer matters, but the children are the topic of this topic, and that is what stays. Thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, do not forget to comment and subscribe to this channel. um Below, I'll be replying to all your comments. Thank you. I don't have anything better to do. So goodbye and see you on the next one.